Good morning, Grid Nation. I'm Cassie Martinez, and you're watching the Gridlocked Pod. Today, I have two very special guests that everybody wants to hear from because their last match was absolutely insane. We have Fico Gomez and Tomas Pesenda from their respective teams. Of course, Fico from the Southwest Florida Sharks and Tomas from the Tampa Bay Brigade. What's up,
What's
guys?
up?
How you doing?
Awesome. How are you?
Excellent. Happy to be here.
Before I went live, I was telling them I'm gonna make my attempt at an intro. I never know how to introduce these things
You
without
did great.
like
You did great.
instructions. Thank you. I
Yeah.
try. I forgot your team names for a second. I'm like, gotta wake up. I just started on this coffee.
And you said
Um,
my name correctly, so we're
Tomas,
off
of
to a good
course.
start. Yeah.
Yes, we have to. I tell everybody, I'm like, that's Tomas. You have
Thank
to
you.
you have to say it like that. Where are you from, Tomas?
The name is Brazilian and Italian,
Okay.
so ancestry from both. My dad is actually from Brazil, so the first name is Brazilian.
Okay. Where are you from, Fico? I already know, but I'm gonna let you answer for the people.
Yeah, no. I'm originally from Puerto Rico. I was born and raised there and moved to the States for college. So when I was 17,
So you live in the Naples area?
Cape Coral.
Cape
So
Coral area.
an hour north, 2 hours south of Tampa.
Gotcha. And Tomas is in Tampa.
Yep.
Tampa?
Seminole Heights is like a little suburb of Tampa. It's 15 minutes north of downtown.
Cool. Tampa.
Yeah.
So guys, last match was crazy. Everybody was so excited for it. I think we have to start there. I think I'll start with Fico. I don't I want to know what you were thinking going into that match and what was your reaction to the outcome.
I mean, I knew going in was going to be a battle, especially on that type of format. I knew also, like, the first thing, obviously, the partner forward was like it was not even close. It was just so far. And then they were like, "Are we going slow?" I was like, "No, I think you guys are going exactly what we did on video. I think they were just very fast. There's nothing we can do about it." Um, and that definitely was a surprise. Obviously, I know Hannah is like probably the best one at burpee box overs in the league. And
Crazy.
yeah, but obviously that was like I was like, "Oh wow." Anything, but I knew it was gonna be a battle. I'm excited. I was kind of. We have not that we had a. Our team hasn't had much adversity, pretty much for the first three matches. So I was excited that they got some push, um, and I was expecting it. And after that interview, after Mirror and partner forward, I was like, I. You could probably see me smiling. I was actually smiling. I was happy. I want to see how they reacted, and see how they go from there. Yeah.
I was watching that interview back in preparation for this interview, and I was like, "Man, Pico looks so happy." Like he's like, "Hell yeah!" Like get them in the dirt real quick and make them work for it.
Yeah, this
That's
is what we
cool.
do grid. I mean, I don't, we want to go, and everybody does this. We go to every race trying to win that race, obviously, and the outcome doesn't happen, and it's fine. But for the first, three matches almost, we went into that race and we won those races. So it was nice to, we won a back and forth.
That's awesome. And what was your team feeling like in those moments? What was like the general attitude?
Well, I think some of them, it was like unknown almost to them, and it was not until I think they were like, I don't know how you could describe this feeling, but they were not feeling like so hot, especially with partner forward and the mirror, all that stuff. It was not until Chelsea won the ringer, the captain taking it up, that they kind of got back into gear. Like, oh, okay, let's just continue doing this. So yeah, but I think
I
again. Um, from a coaching standpoint, I was very excited to see that.
Yeah, I from a spectator standpoint, that was about the best match that you could have asked for, especially from a team that was previously undefeated going into the week. Uh, Tomas, what was your expectation going into it, and what was your reaction to the outcome? Same question.
So we put a lot of emphasis on our first match of that weekend because we knew that the Sharks are a phenomenal team. They showed it. We knew that there was a chance we would lose, which we did, and we didn't want to leave it up to that. We said, win our first match, get into the playoffs, and then have some fun on Sunday. And that's exactly what we did. And I think having fun also just brings the whole team up, and you put your best foot forward. And like Fico said, it was fun. I went up to him halfway through the match when it was tied at one point, I think after ladder maybe, or after triad, and just like a high five. This is fun. This is awesome. They went undefeated for the first two in races, 22-0. And then the only two they lost, I think, were ringers. So they still hadn't even lost a race up until our match. So we knew it was going to be tough. They're a phenomenal team. And to come out and partner forward with a win, I was incredible. Just the whole team morale. It was our first partner forward win of the season, I think. For the first three matches, we lost partner forward and mirror, which is very unlike us as a team. Last year, we always won them. Race format has a lot to do with how things shake up for sure. But we focused a lot on the first match, knowing the second one would be a challenge, and we just wanted to give it our best. And we knew no matter what the outcome was, that we would see them in the playoffs in Kissimmee. So whether it was a win or loss, we know we were going to already be focusing on that. And our last two matches, Brigade and Sharks, came down to sprint relay. Last year in playoffs and this year, last match of the regular season, both came down to sprint relay. So it's an awesome rivalry, really good matchup, really good teams, and it was a lot of fun.
And your team looked like they were having a lot of fun too. Was it kind of like once they were in it, they were kind of like, "Oh snap! Like we're giving the Sharks the business." Like what was the hype? What was the attitude?
Yeah, I mean, you never want to go into it thinking you're going to lose, but there's always that possibility. But we just said we want to give them a fight. They, like Fico said, they haven't really been challenged all season. They won substantially every single match. And we just said, let's shake it up a little bit. Let's have some fun, do what we can do, and try to win. So yeah, the whole team mindset of going out there, trying to win some races, having fun, and the whole team morale. I mean, this team is fantastic. Can't say enough about this team. Even better than last year. So yeah, they went out there, they shook it up a little bit. I think some people were probably expecting less of us, especially after the Venom match. That was our toughest match of the season. And so they showed up big time on Sunday.
Yeah, that was awesome. And the Venom match was also so exciting because the Venom, it's sad to say, but they've kind of had a reputation of being somewhat of a, and there's no nice way to say it, but like a scrub team. So like for them to give you such a fight for like the team that you have this season, like that was crazy. And I don't think it's a knock on you guys. I think it's just a testament to like, oh damn, like they finally have people. That's crazy. They could give people a fight. So I think seasons coming are definitely going to be more and more competitive for everybody.
All
And we
weekend.
knew that match was going to be tough. They had 3 or 4 new people, and if they had them for the first 2 matches of the season, maybe they're in a completely different spot going into this weekend. So yeah, that was pretty much their first real match with that team. And so yeah, with that team, they're definitely going to shake things up next year. Yeah, I did say after Sunday, I almost felt better about the Sharks match than the Venom match, even though it was a loss versus a win, just because of how the team showed up and having fun, adversity, all of that. Like the Venom, you could tell we were a little on edge. We were a little nervous. We lost some things we feel like we shouldn't have, and that one meant a lot to get to 3-0 and solidify our spot. So yeah, just proud of the whole weekend, but especially the Sharks match, the way they showed up.
Did you want to say something, Fico?
No, I was going to say the whole weekend was exciting. I mean, we had so many good races, matches. It was crazy. I was, through the live stream or expectating, you were just screaming. It doesn't matter who won. It was just exciting. And that's what grid is about. That's what we want.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk. Well, I can't stop myself from talking, but I didn't want to talk for like the whole day after, and I like couldn't help myself. Like every time there was a match, I'm like screaming into the microphone, and they're like, "Stop screaming into the microphone." I'm like, I can't stop. Like everything is just so good.
think 2 matches went to gridlock,
Mhm.
2.
and
Yeah.
all but one came down to sprint relay. 7
Yeah.
out of 8 matches came down to sprint relay, and 2 of them actually ended up in gridlock. That's wild.
Mhm.
That's
Really
the
crazy.
that's the bar that we're setting for next season. I mean, everybody's really hungry now that the regular season's over. Like the people that aren't in the playoffs are already talking about next season. So I'm stoked to see it. But let's talk a little bit about the specifics of the match. And shout out to Grid Stats because I would not have time to do this myself, and I really appreciate you doing these for us. So the Brigade won every ladder this season, including the one against the Sharks. I think the Sharks were undefeated in ladders before
Mhm.
going into this match.
Yes.
All right, RIP to that. But the Sharks have, I believe, 5 or 6 players in the top 10 of finishing times for almost every single ladder, and the Brigade have 1 for the push press ladder. So knowing that and knowing that maybe you don't have the fastest team, but now that you have like the more consistent team, what do you think? Well, what were you thinking going into the ladder, and were you expecting that outcome? Firstly, Tomas.
So, if you look at our team in previous seasons to this one, it's a very different team. We historically have never won ladder. It's always been our worst race. I think the assignments and lineup and subbing, we've been a little better this season, so we're able to get more strength people in. We have a lot of really good gymnastics people, and typically based on the match format, it's hard to get strength people in all the time because we're more well-rounded on the gymnastics. That's why you don't see a lot of impact players on our team high on the rankings, because we have a lot of people that do everything. So it's not just like one person is always doing something, where we spread it out across three or four gymnastics people on the guy's side and 3 gymnastics people on the female side. And then strength and utility, pretty much the same thing. Like I think we're just a really well-rounded team. So you don't see anyone really excelling or on the top list of certain things, but that just speaks to the entire team in general being able to share assignments and being more well-rounded. But we knew we had a chance in ladder if we could do what we did in practice, and knew it was going to be close because the Sharks are a very strong team overall in strength. So just put our best foot forward, and I think a lot of it really just came down to having fun out there and less stress, and just go out there and attack the barbell as much as possible. That ladder, I feel like we didn't get everyone through, which was the plan also, just because of time, based on time. So everyone took a little bit longer to set up, and that ultimately worked out because they were able to hit the bar.
Yeah, and it was one of the most fun ladders to watch just because there's so much strength on both sides, so much mass on both sides. Especially with the Brigade, there's like a big Olympic weightlifting background. Like you have tons of Olympic weightlifters, which we don't see too much of on the grid. At least not in like droves, like how they are more on the Brigade side. But Fico, knowing that and knowing the backgrounds of the players on the Brigade team, did that outcome take you by surprise?
Obviously, I'm gonna say no, because I did say when I was interviewing, I was like, hey, I think might have the edge on the ladder, but if we make a mistake, they'll be right there, and that's what we did. We have 2 people that missed their 4th bar, and then they took advantage of it. They didn't miss, and it came down to that. So ladder obviously is one of our strengths, but I think Brigade's females are just as strong as our females. They have, I mean, some on some lifts, especially on the snatch, they are very good at snatch. They probably have 5, if I'm not mistaken, 5 maybe 6 girls. They can probably clear that snatch ladder, um, and kind of the same as us. So again, it would come down to who made the least mistakes, and they didn't. They made mistakes, so and we did. So yeah, it was a surprise, but Um, you know, not too much, I guess.
Do you think it was because I know you guys are trying to finish the ladder as quickly as possible, and you guys are really good at that historically. Do you think it was because it was such a technical movement and the rush of trying to take this win back for your team after kind of, falling behind a little bit in not falling behind a little bit, but suffering more adversity than you normally do? Do you think that
Yeah,
was kind of like what went wrong there?
I think it's a combination. It's combination is the second match of the weekend. We
Yeah.
just did the echoes with a lot of snatching, and then when you hit those fourth bars, again, it's a snatch. It's very technical lift. If you, that's when you rely on your technique. If you don't have that technique dialed down, then that's what happens, and that's pretty much what it is. So if you can see their lifts were like perfect. So and that just goes with a weightlifting background in there. But I think it was a combination. It was nothing that our players did wrong or they went too fast or not too. They didn't. They went what we expected them to do. They just literally just had a miss. It happens to anybody.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, sometimes you have a game plan and it works in practice, and sometimes just the execution and the nerves of everything, like things go wrong and people are human, but it's definitely makes you, you know, feel some type of way, I'm sure, to go through that, and especially something that you thought maybe you had in the bag. And like you said, as long as you don't make any mistakes, which unfortunately didn't happen.
And the funny thing is that in this coming match now, it's another snatch ladder. So it's kind of like it's going to go right back into it, you know. So um,
Yeah, it's
hopefully,
gonna be close. Yeah.
but if another snatch ladder, I guess it's probably the best female snatch. And I'm talking about the females. The guys also are very good, but your females are very, very good snatching. Um, so yeah, so we'll see what happens.
That's awesome. All right. Jack and Jill, Tomas, I'm sure you figured how that would go with the people that you have on your team. Fico, what was your strategy to kind of attack their Jack and Jill in this particular match format?
Yeah, the Jack and Jill. Obviously, you have the Brigade, and you have the one of the oldest pair, the not oldest by age, but by experience, in Marissa and Ninja or Krishafi. We knew it was going to be a battle on that one. I still thought that we had a good game plan. Also, that chest to bar is kind of like a toss up. It really is. It really is. It's just kind of like, it's such a hard thing to waterfall. And then if you don't, it just slows you down. So it's kind of one of those that I thought we had it. I think we made a little mistake on David. He was supposed to do, I think, 25 double touches, and he did, but he was so fresh. I should have just let him go in and had Chelsea a little bit more fresh with the triple touches. And again, we were one rep away from each other. So again, same thing. It could have go either way. Whoever made the least mistakes would have won that race, and that's what happened.
For sure. And Tomas, going into that, I mean, you do have both sides have some of the best bodyweight specialists in the league, if not the best. Like undisputed. Um, Going into that, were you expecting to take that one, or did you kind of have like okay, like this is still, nobody's yet, like we're still in this, we're still kind of doing our thing? Because I think if there's any match format that favors Chaffee and Oxenford, it's this one of like the double touches and the triple touches with their short ranges of motion. So what was kind of your strategy going into that and your expectation?
Yeah, kind of similar to what Fico was saying on ladder is how I feel about Jack and Jill. Like we have those bodyweight people between Ninja and Marissa. They're always in Jack and Jill. They always do a good job. They always show up. They're fast and they're efficient and they're good. So they're just really good at what they do. Then you throw in Garrison, Jess, Dalton, and Hannah, and that's when, like I was saying, our entire like depth of roster is able to do a lot of things. Dalton, I would argue, is one of the best triple touchers in the league. He showed up big time. Hannah struggled a little bit. She was tired from a couple races before, but yeah, he did a bunch of extra reps we weren't expecting. The chest to bar and even watching the other matches was so frustrating to watch because in practice it goes so well. You have the timing perfectly, and coming from a judging background, reffing background in grid, I'm looking and saying, okay, is this the right waterfall? Are they going to fault? Like, just looking at it from a reffing perspective. And in practice, looking at it in the timing, you're saying, yeah, this is perfect. They're exactly synced oppositely to be waterfalling. And then one little thing, a quarter of a second, split second difference of how they jump up. Adrenaline probably had a lot to do with it. They're going faster than they do in practice. And then it gets off and you're done. I think we ended up doing in total, obviously a lot of them didn't count, but we did 80 chest to bars. We did an extra third of what was supposed to be done. That's a lot of time. That's 30 seconds to a minute right there. And same thing, Sharks. Other matches were the same thing. People were messing up on the chest to bar. So it's a good format for us if it's smooth, and if it's just challenging if it gets a little off. But we knew if we could just get through that, get to the double touch and triple touch, we had a good chance. Fortunately, they had a little hiccup there because we were behind going into the triple touch, but even that was pretty much rep for rep, and we were able to squeeze it out.
Yeah, that Jack and Jill was nasty. It was awesome. Dalton was really fast on those triple touches, so definitely an honorable mention for him. And Hannah too. Hannah did tons of work in that match format, which was super impressive. But speaking of your referee background, we got to go into the sprint relay now. And we got to talk about it. The Chris Chaffee fault that cost you the sprint relay. What was your take on that?
The nature of grid is that people are going as fast as they can, riding a line as much as possible, and there are going to be faults. It's even in our partner forward. I think it was the smoothest partner forward of our entire season, maybe the entire league. We crushed it. We still had a fault on an overhead squat. So there's just no way around the fact that you're going to have faults. It's the nature of the sport. There was a little miscommunication between Chris and the judge in terms of how many faults he got, which is why he came down early. The rings were swinging, and I mean, he could stay up there and do 10 in a row if he had to. It's not the inability to do it. Just in the moment, what you're hearing, what you're seeing, there was just a little miscommunication, not anyone's fault. Talked with Brandon and the ref team after, and Mather, everyone's on the same page. Everyone's trying to do the best job they can. And there are going to be things that you hear or don't hear, and it happens in every single match. There's going to be something that happens, but everyone's trying to do the best job. Unfortunately, it was just too much time lost on that we couldn't come back from, and it happens in sprint relay with such a small number of reps of each element. If one goes wrong, you can be too far behind just after that one thing. And it was just really unfortunate. I was sad mostly just for him and the team because we were leading going into it. Some of the elements after we did really well in. So maybe that goes well. We end up winning sprint relay. We win the whole match. Who knows? Or maybe something else happens down the road and we drop a bar on the thrusters. Like, you never know what's going to happen. So just the learning from that is just do clean reps, overemphasize so there's no question on faults, and smooth, like Fico was just saying too, smooth is the name of the game. You do smooth reps without faults and you're going to be hard to beat.
I love that. Shout out to our referee crew. They're hardworking people, and it's definitely a hard job. And I remember when I was a referee too. Did you guys remember that I was a referee? You remember that? That was so long ago.
I don't.
I don't even remember that. You were there that season, Fico.
I saw a video, a picture, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, you're a ref."
But yeah, I mean, one thing about me though, like, you know that I'm talking a lot. I'm good at talking like for extended periods of time, but refereeing is screaming essentially. Like you have to like yell over the music and yell at people and tell them fault 1, 2, 3, and you're counting sometimes up to 50 reps, and it's insane. So it's definitely really easy to kind of jumble words or get confused and all of that mess.
No, and
But
they have
going,
the toughest job by far. I
yeah,
mean, they get no recognition when they do a good job because
yes,
sadly nothing happened. They did a good job. It's like, okay, we keep moving on. And then whenever they make a mistake, that's when everybody's like, oh my god. I'm like, they probably made hundreds of correct calls and they make one bad call that may mess up the match. Technically could. And then, yeah, it's a tough job, let's put it that way.
that's such a
Yeah,
good point.
having done it, like you said, it's really hard. I think the hardest part is how decisive and quick you need to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And especially learning, like the first year I did it, I'm sure I messed up a ton of times because you look at something, you think, all right, I think that was off, but the next rep is already happening. You need to know, you need to say it, you need to say why, you need to be quick. And that just comes with practice. So yeah, it's a really hard job. But yeah, hats off to the whole team because it a lot of people wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. And especially if it's like a short range of motion and you're counting like 1, 2, 3, and then you have to like say what you're faulting for. One elbows, 2, 3, blah, 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 and you have to like rap. You have to be like Busta Rhymes in there, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
So going into the sprint relay, 15-15, dead tie, which almost never happens. So like truly whoever takes it, like takes it, like one of those like clean, like this is like really gonna give you that win. Uh Fico, you haven't lost a sprint relay. When was the last time that the Sharks lost a sprint relay? Do you remember?
Well, last year we lost a lot of sprint relays. Believe it or
Did
not,
you? Okay.
we did. We did. Last year was kind of the opposite, where we were very good at the first half, and then the sprint relay never mattered. We still went undefeated, but it was still like we lost the sprint relay to like a lot of races last
Yeah.
year during the regular season. Um, I don't remember. I think last time was I don't remember honestly. Maybe
Okay.
against the Breakers last year, or so. Maybe I don't know. I don't remember honestly. Well, yeah, because we even won the sprint relay on the championship match, even we lost a match. But I don't remember.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So going into this sprint relay, your team has had kind of the mentality of win every race, and that was the mentality. Which, first of all, let me get it out of the way before we continue this part. Do you think that the morning chalk up hexed you?
What do you mean? What does that mean? Like jinx me or
Everybody,
something?
no, like everybody was commenting, like, oh, like they jinxed the the Sharks for the playoffs, or not, sorry, not for the playoffs, for the doubleheader, and that's why they lost like the ringers to the bandits and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
No, there's no way. I mean, do you think if anybody comes into a season thinking they're gonna win every single race, they're
Mhm.
ridiculous. Like, come on. Like, I didn't think it was gonna happen in the first match. I didn't think it was gonna happen in the second match. And but I do prepare them to win every
Yeah.
race, and we all do. That is just it's just what happened. We prepared them to win every race. I told them I believe we can win every race, but that doesn't mean that we're going to. Yes, it was a cool story. I'm sure that everybody wanted to obviously kind of talk about it, just like any sports that you would talk about it. But as a coach and as I've been doing grit for years, I know it's impossible. It's impossible for us to go winning every single race for a full season. So it's going to happen at some point. No, I didn't. I didn't think that jinxed us. I didn't. It was a cool story. I read it, enjoyed it, whatever. But it's not. It was not gonna. I knew it was not gonna happen.
I had to ask because people were talking about it. Do you ever like watch like a post match or post game press conference like for whatever sport, and it's like, oh, I just know that they're gonna ask this guy this sport, and it's like the first question they ask. It's
Yeah,
like one
yeah,
of those, like, oh, I had to ask you for the
yeah,
people,
yeah,
like I had to get it
yeah.
out of the
For
way.
sure, sure.
But going into the sprint relay itself, What was the like, what's going through your mind? Like, you're an undefeated team, like, you've had it taken away from you last season. After everything that your team has gone through, like, the entire chemistry change, the leadership roles that you've entrusted that which I 1,000% agree with, by the way. I think your team captains are amazing. I think your team chemistry is so much fun. I think your marketing is great. Like, everything leading up to that, 15 and 15, sprint relay on the line, what is the pep talk? What was going through your mind as a coach? What more can you do to prepare in that moment?
Yeah, no, on that, I mean, there was a lot of things going on. We have a rookie, Z, that it was his first full match. And he was supposed to do a first thrusters and 25. I don't remember if he was supposed to do the first one or last one. I don't remember what was the game plan. But then I see him on the corner just laying there. I'm like, are you okay? He just finished triad. This is his first, actually his first triad ever. And then he was gonna supposed to do. So I was not making sure. So it was a lot of making sure my players are good. But the pep talk was pretty much straightforward. Hey, you win this race, we win the match. That's all it is. It is. You just win this race, we win the match. Uh, let's get it going. You're good. He did a few reps. Oh, I'm good. All that stuff. They get back to it. So yeah, I was expecting to win that race. We have some um, things that, like for some reason, I was obviously I didn't want the ninja no rep because actually that would have been made it more exciting because I think we were like neck to neck. They were had a lead,
Yes.
but I had Q. Q didn't do anything else during that match, and he just came in to do those 4 reps, and he caught up to Ninja, and they came down at the same time, and I was like, oh my god, he's gonna come down to the thrusters. And yeah, it was the whole match was kind of nice, man. I like the excitement. I tell since I was a player, uh, even on grid when you lose, it's still like fun to do. It's just like when you go those back and forth, the excitement, all that stuff. It's just some match. So yeah, again, I told my team, win this race. Doesn't matter what happened on the races before, and then we win the match. That's it. They knew what to do.
And and they did it. And it was a really nice win. It felt like everything was really clean on both sides for the most part. Like, not too many mistakes. Everybody kind of, kept to the plan and kept their heads on straight despite
Yeah,
the challenges and everything.
we have Chelsea. I think her pull-ups, like for some reason she forgot to do pull-ups. She's probably listening to this and she like I was like they
You
made a
forgot to do
joke now.
pull-ups?
They made a joke now. She started doing like kipping and like strict, and I'm like, hey, you know something called butterfly pull-ups? You know that you probably do all day, every day. And then but no, it was fine. It was all good.
That's so funny. And Tomas, going into that sprint relay, I mean, you're neck and neck. You're about to potentially beat an undefeated team for the season. You were an undefeated team for the season, but I would say the general idea was that the Brigades were going into this an underdog, considering the Sharks' winning streak. Despite everything that impressive that your team has done for the season, and what was your pep talk and what was your team's attitude going into that sprint relay? Was there a moment where it was like, "Oh crap, guys! Like, this is us. Like, this could be us, and this could be taking us into a playoff with like some interesting stats here."
Well, yeah, I mean, first I'll say even before that, going into triad, we were tied going into that after Jack and Jill. So it was 12-12, I think, after Jack and Jill. We have a strong female team, like Fico said. That was our first female triad loss of the season. We won the first 3. So losing that, we said, all right, guys, you need to step it up. We were 0-3 on male triad and then won that one. So it was like flip-flop there. But even before that, I went up to Jess and I said, no matter what happens on male triad, I'm throwing my bonus flag in sprint relay because I don't want gridlock. make it worth an extra point. Even if we're down 2, the sprint relay will still define it. So
You
we
had
knew it would
PTSD
come
at
down
that
to
point.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, look, I don't want to rerun this again 3 times like we did yesterday. Just let the best team win. And yeah, the pep talk was look, we gave them a fight. We're tied. Whatever happens, happens. Like, we obviously wanted to win, but we had the confidence from the first 10 races of the match that we can keep up with arguably the best team in the league as underdogs. And so just carrying that into playoffs was enough for me. You don't want to lose a race or a match, obviously, but the confidence that we got from the first 10 races was enough to say, all right, we're in a really good spot. Anything can happen. Let's give it our best. Unfortunately, it didn't work out because of a couple of faults here and there. We actually had an injury from male triad also, and our guy who was supposed to do the thrusters in the fourth quad hurt his calf, and he couldn't run down the grid.
Who was
So we had to, Kyle.
Oh.
So
okay.
Kyle was going to do the fourth thruster. Dan was going to do the first set of thrusters, Dan Ty. And so we just switched them. So Kyle did the first set of thrusters. All he had to do was step on, do the thrusters. He tested it a little bit. He said, yeah, I can do them. I'll get through it. And then he was just able to step back. Rebecca did the last one and she ran out. I don't know if you've seen her Instagram either, but she thought she broke her toe at first on those back handsprings, and it's still black and blue. She's not 100% yet. But yeah, she did female triad and sprint relay, basically hobbling. She said afterwards she was just anytime she had to walk or run, she put all the weight on the inside of her foot because the outside hurt too much. So yeah, we were a little banged up, to say the least. Oh, and ladder. It was before ladder too. So she cleared the snatch ladder basically on half of her foot. Just
She's insane.
Absurd. Marissa hurt her shoulder on the ring muscle ups in female triad. So pull-ups were a question mark for her. Like, we were banged up a little bit. We were missing 2 people from our roster that weren't in Dallas. So like we put up as good of a fight as I could have asked this team after all the stress and multiple reruns from Saturday. So long story short, pep talk was, you guys are incredible. Let's try to win it. If not, we'll try to win in Kissimmee.
Heck yeah, I love that. Now that you guys have competed against each other and you're gonna compete against each other so soon after, like fresh, like you guys know each other now. Like you kind of know like where the holes are, like what to poke, what you have to improve, all of those good things that go into competition and you want to eat your enemy. Now that you know all of those things, going into this next match, are you guys strategizing based off of the other team? You don't have to be very specific. I just am wondering.
So the first thing I'll say is, because we did see the ringer options for playoff and championships, and I'm glad back handsprings isn't a part of it again, because this will be the 3rd match in a row that we do it against them and we get beat. I was like, don't put it in again. You got to be kidding me. Yeah.
Hey, when you have the fastest one in the league, I thought she was even, could she even beat Briley's time? And I was like,
come on, you got to give us a break. Like, when we were planning for ringers for Dallas, it was no question they were going to pick it. They'd be silly not to. They already beat us in it, and we have the same female roster. So I'm props to Rebecca for stepping up and practicing. She put up a decent fight. It was super impressive.
Believe it or not, I have no idea that was her. I thought you guys were gonna do like a super wild card or something like that, or like, just because I had no idea you have anybody else that could do it. When I saw Rebecca, I was like, she did very, very well. I was actually, she stepped just before the line.
I know.
And then she had to do the extra one, and that's when Chelsea,
I think that's a little bit of adrenaline on that one too, because we practiced it and she was able to do exactly 5 and get right over the line. Mm-hmm. And I think she was maybe stepping a little further on every one. So her one before was longer than she expected. So she had to do an extra one to get past the line. And that's why she was so far. If that one had landed past, it would have been a foot race. It was super close. So Yeah, she'll be practicing for next season if it comes up again. But uh, yeah, I think we know where our strengths are. I wouldn't even say either team has weaknesses. It's just it comes down to execution. Both teams are really strong. Um, Assignments have a lot to do with it. Match format has a lot to do with it. But I wouldn't say we're specifically changing our strategy. I think the confidence from the match in Dallas said, all right, this is the team we have, and we know we can compete on that level. It's just practicing your assignments and running a clean race.
Yeah.
Yeah, same on my side. I mean, we're not strategizing on what they're gonna do, or we're trying to put the base game plan forward. And when I tell you on this match format that every single race against the Brigade is gonna be close, I'm telling you, it's gonna be close every single race. It pairs for both of our team very, very well. If you were to tell me like the first match of the season, that format, nobody in the league will beat us at that, because that was championship match and that haunt me for a whole off season. So I recruited, I practiced for that one, so nobody will beat me at that match this season. But this one it is gonna come down to execution for sure.
I know. That was a tough championship match last season. That was definitely you'll never forget that one. And I'll never forget that one either. That was one of the craziest one of the craziest
You
upsets
said,
I've
"Yep."
seen. That was fun times. My friend Daniel's in the comments. How do I show this? I know how to press buttons. It says, "Just wait, Mike Rosa will be doing the next back handspring ringer."
You know, is he? Yeah, he is in the comments too. Shout
Yeah.
out to Mike, man. He's a rookie in grid, and we got him kind of last minute, and we had a bunch of other guys on the team, and he's showed up big time. His performance on the grid, his vibes and heart off the grid, he's brought a lot to this team. Just in him being on it. So super thankful to have him on.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. I got the chance to talk to him back when we were in Dallas. What a fun dude. Just good vibes for sure.
Mhm.
Like definitely on the team just to like be there and like be next to you like when you're in the crap together, you know? I mean, I'm not on a grid team, so I'm never in the crap, but I would like I feel it. I feel the energy, you know? I definitely feel the emotions on both sides of the grid and I'm trying to see like what's going on at all times and definitely just a positive figure that I see there. Jess though, Jess is also in the comments. Ooh, we have a surprise coming. Laughing emoji, laughing emoji. Ah, very ominous. Pico,
Yeah,
how
I
does
don't know
that
So
what
make
he's
you
so
talking
feel?
about.
so just doing the aerials. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, dude, because at one point, Fico, your audio wasn't the best, but I didn't wanna you were spitting, so I was like, "Yes, dude, like, keep talking." And then
Oh,
he
I
goes,
don't know.
"Fico calling T
Sorry.
Fiber."
Yes, I need to call T Fiber. Sorry. I don't know what my internet's been going on. Like I was gonna jump from my computer and it would just keep being bad. I don't know. I need to call them or do something.
It's better.
Thank you.
Alright. Guys, how do we feel going into Kissimmee, though? Like, we're in our home state, less travel, a lot of travel for some people on your teams, but for the most part, not too much. I mean, Fico, how many people do you have in Florida, actually? 2.
No, I have more. I'm more. I have
Yeah.
you have Jesse, you have Sydney, you have
Jesse's coming
Sam.
back for Kissimmee.
I'm just
Okay. I was
The
like
worst
I was like, "When
secret.
you just said
Yeah.
that." Don't get me in trouble.
We
I'd be
have
surprised if she wasn't there.
Yeah.
Val, Q, Derek, Sedona. There's
Okay.
a few more. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
There's not.
So, home state, you know, we're all in our home state, less traveling. Uh, if you had to choose, all right, let's see. What's something fun? Like a hype up song or like a mantra for your team? Like, what are we feeling right now? Like, is there something that your team is into? Is there like a sentiment that your team is really feeling right now?
So
I'll
we
give you a
we have had a hashtag all season, which is hashtag SS Brigade, and I won't say what SS stands for. If you know, you know. And maybe I'll say it after the season. Won't give too much away now, but I think after that we started saying like, now you know, basically, like we're the underdogs. We weren't expected to win or put up a fight. And like now, and we showed up. So the confidence that that gives me and the team in their assignments and what they're capable of, I think that's what we're going into Kissimmee with. We have the ability, and now the entire league sees it, and let's shock the world.
I love that. That's awesome.
Bring it.
And now, if it goes to gridlock, then it's Fico and I doing a ringer against each other.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, no, I think our team is pretty much, they got the blood in the water type of stuff. They also have a chip on their shoulders from last year. They kind of had some finished business, so they want to finish that up. They're working very hard. I think again, it's gonna be a fight. We're excited for Kissimmee. It's gonna be not only our match. I think all matches are gonna be very exciting because there's really four teams. They are really really stacked, full deep rosters and all that. So very very excited for it, and yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It is gonna be fun. I do the saying, the Brigade walk-in song should be Baby Shark. Isn't that your walk-in song, or is that like your winning song, Fico?
Honestly, I don't. Somebody played it. I don't think it was us. Like somebody, it was not like
Yeah, the
a.
DJ just started playing that
They
when you
started
won
playing it,
something,
and
right?
it
Yeah.
kind of yeah, it wasn't like we chose to have that song. They just kind of played it. Yeah,
Yeah.
the intro is like we do have an intro song. I think every team has now. We have like the Jaws teams type of thing, like a little
Yes,
remix.
that's what it is. And the
Mm.
Brigade have a like a pirate theme song.
The Pirates of the Caribbean theme.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Super sick. I love those. Those are awesome. The I don't know, I love a gimmick. Do you think you guys would like switch it up? Don't take influence from me. I just like the mess, but do you think that you guys would take a page out of the Venom's book and like change your song for every team that you play and kind of stick it to them? Or you just I think I like your songs though. Your songs are so your team. Like it's cool when you have a theme song that like is about whatever your mascot is, so to speak.
Well, one, I didn't know you can change it every match. I didn't know that was a possibility. I was only asked once, and yeah, no, if it's working, I guess. So I don't need to change it.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think it's hyping us up, so we're gonna keep going with it. If you should have seen our group chat when we were picking a song, we had 100 different suggestions to choose from. It was crazy. Yeah, it did take way too long to pick one, but so we landed on that one, and I think it works.
It does work. I'm a big Pirates of the Caribbean fan. So I heard that I was like, "Yes." And then you do have the Jaws song. And then it turns into like almost like a trap beat, right,
Yeah,
Fico?
it's like a trap remix type of thing. Yeah,
Sick.
it's not nice. Yeah, I
I
think it's
do
gonna
the
be.
saying,
Uh,
are you
sorry.
saying the Venom is broken? I mean,
They're just finding their way.
yeah.
I think after Dallas they found it, so maybe
Yeah,
they'll have some consistency.
agreed. What were you saying, Fico? I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that this is just Tomas was saying that they were the underdogs, but since the league started, the Sharks has been the underdogs to the Brigade.
Yeah.
So it's like an old rival that's been going on for years. When I first started, I think we didn't beat the Brigade until like my fourth year, and when we beat them, we celebrated like it was, you know, like we won the championship, and I think it was a regular
Yeah.
season. It's the old rivalry has been going on for a while, so I'm excited for this Kissimmee match.
That's true. Didn't the Brigade win the first ever FGL championship?
I think they won the first 2, and they went undefeated both seasons. I don't think they lost a race or a match for at least the first 2 years, maybe into year 3. But I mean, that's the beauty of sports. Like you look at Yankees and Red Sox, right? Like, yeah, they're really good for a couple of years. The other team is really good for a couple of years. They're close. They switch back and forth. Like, you're not going to have a team dominate forever. And so that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, it's like dynasties. Like the Heat used to be really good and now we suck and we have no stars and we don't know what we're gonna do and we're lost and at sea. But we'll always remember 2008, 2012, 2013, you know? So maybe this will be that year for it'll be the year for potentially one of you guys. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun watching the last one. Yours is definitely going to be the one to watch of the playoffs. It'll be almost like a championship match, the caliber of talent that you guys have on the teams. Your team chemistry, your dynamics are really impressive. And you guys have had a great season. I'm excited to see what happens.
Thanks, me too.
Here. Amen.
Amen. Cool. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Is there anything else that you want to say?
What's the ringer, Tomas? What are we gonna do?
So you know what? So it's funny. I played golf with Dalton the other day, and we were talking about it, and we said something like 6 triple touch, 6 moderately heavy deadlift. Something like, all right, you're gonna breeze through the barbell. Maybe I'll have an advantage going into it. Get there, but at the end it'll be close. I think we can figure something out.
Bro, you're assuming they have 6 triple touch.
All right, 5. All right.
Oh man,
No,
it's gonna be
it
fun.
would be fun. Yeah,
Sure.
Mike says,
yeah. I mean the only thing, Mike, the only thing I would say is, and I mean they're showing up in the comments now. This team is awesome. I would not be as happy doing this and spending so much time doing it, and weekends every Saturday looking at assignments, videos, all this stuff. Like, if it wasn't for everyone on this team, everyone plays a role. No matter how many races they're in, we wouldn't be the same team if we didn't have one of them. So just shout out to the whole Brigade team. Thank you for making the season enjoyable, and work's not done. So I know they're all going to show up and have fun in a couple weeks.
that's awesome. Fico?
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, same thing. I mean, I think we're on the same page. I mean, our team is excited. They're ready to go. They're not underestimating anybody. Again, they have a chip on their shoulders. They want to win the championship. They're practicing for it, and let's see who executes the best.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. I got to address these comments real quick. Says Cassie, who's your favorite team and why is it the Brigade?
Good question.
My favorite team is probably the Orlando Aces. That's kind of a safe thing to say, right?
Oh,
Wow.
That's like a safe, like a PG
Too
thing
soon.
to say. And then Dude said, Cassie's blood is purple. I've been accused of, like, people that don't know me and like Paul are together. I've been accused of like hating the Venom because they just like piss me off all season.
Whatever.
Like,
on
why
the
you
live
guys
on the
like
live stream,
this?
you give them so much love. So you probably
I
hate them
know,
on the
I'm
behind
nice.
the scenes.
I feel,
But on the
I
live
feel
stream, you
like
give
I'm
them
nice
love.
to everybody. I feel
Yeah,
like I'm nice to everybody, you know?
you
Like
do.
I
You
give
are.
everybody some love. But my blood is definitely not purple. I bleed red, the same as everybody else. Not for the wild though. Gotta make that clear. I miss the Aces, but I'm so glad to finally enjoy my orange Wrangler without Taylor on my case. So true. that was a fun rivalry as well. Kristen Bonito, we finally got a shark in the chat. What's up,
Yay.
Kristen? I'm about to end the chat, end the live stream, but glad you're here and we're able to
You
make it.
didn't miss
You can watch
anything.
it back.
Tomas is just giving us the win.
Nah, nah. We'll see you in Kissimmee, Kristen. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I had a blast talking about Grid, and I'm excited to see what happens. And we'll talk again soon after the season ends, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Sure. Cool. Peace.
Thanks, y'all.